What is up, board members of the Bennett Group? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to the world of Adstella and Witch from Mercury. Last time, Suletta fought against Guel and lost the position of the holder and Ariel. After trying to see Miorine, she found Ariel, but Eddie rejects her and tells Suletta to leave her and Mother alone. Meanwhile, conflict continues on Earth, and Miorine decides to head planetside to see if she could help. This time, Miorine and Guel head to Earth, and things don't go quite as expected. Also, Noria attacks the school again while Guel fights Shadiq. So let's get into this. Before meeting Suletta, Miorine has spent most of her life wanting to go to Earth. Guel is joining him to make sure he doesn't mess this up, although he says it more elegantly. Meanwhile, Prospera has her own plans while on Earth. Back at school, since Martin accidentally ratted out Earth House, he is living the simp life. Simping it up hard. He claims his simping is to not bring any more trouble to Earth House. Hey, that's what a simp would say. Cecilia, shove a foot in his butthole. Miorine makes her landing. The Lanza souls escort their car. That is when Prospera comes in with Ariel. Shadiq, Ilan, and the Pale Grandmas discuss what will happen while Miorine is on Earth. They believe she is going to try the peaceful route. Belmeria meets with Fang. She says to Belmeria, "Relax, this isn't me representing the Space Assembly League. This is just two girls having a tea party." This makes Belmeria even more nervous. Fang tries to get her to open up, but she ain't having it. Belmeria walks away, but Fang's partner Gustan says sit down with just a simple glare. Fang says you better enjoy my tea party. As Guel and Miorine make it to the negotiations, a kid walks up to Guel and asks him for money. This looks exactly like Seto, one of the Donna Fold kids. Guel tells Miorine to handle negotiations on her own and goes after the kid while Kanaji follows. Good job, guys. Exited the car for 2 seconds and already went off plan. Plant Quetta played a big role in the last season, but what is it? Amongst other things, this is a permit mining facility. As Miorine goes to negotiate the potential of a new factory Earthside, which would bring more jobs to Earthians, the Earth faction interrupts her and simply says 1,529. This is the amount of people who have gone missing or unjustly detained in the name of investigating the so-called Plant Quetta incident. This is like a mini Patriot Act that gave the Bennett Group overreach to do things like torture and murder in the name of corporate justice. They are from Earth House and thus from Ox Earth. They aren't stupid. They know they were strong-armed 20 years ago only for the Bennett Group to slowly start developing gun-armed tech that was rightfully created by Earth faction in the first place. This is merely a company trying to take glory and monopolize something that they boldly claim to have hated in the past. This leaves Earth faction no choice but to force all Spacians to leave Earth. Back with Noria, Nika, and Alan 5. Noria may have seemed like the cool and collected one between her and Sophie, but she seems to miss Sophie ultimately because she knows that as a witch, she will see the same fate one day. Ilan is also a witch and understands this feeling considering his creators literally just want to incinerate him for being obsolete. However, Nika is so confused as to what is going on. Back on Earth, Miorine shows her legs. No, not those legs. The legs the students built for GUNDAM Inc., you filthy perverts. She shows the Earth faction the medical technologies they have been working on. She says that banning Spacians means Earthians would be banned from space, and she doesn't want this as GUNDAM Inc. relies on Earth House. This inspires them to hold off on banishing all Spacians from Earth at least until the presidential election takes place. At school, Choo-Choo finds Suletta eating in the dark like a mouse. She forces her to interact with the rest of the world and get out of her funk. They happen to be making soup using milk from Tico's tits. The taste of Tico's tits makes Suletta cry. As everyone eats, Martin finally comes over and spills the beans to Earth House about the truth about Nika. Choo-Choo is mad, but Suletta says she was trying to stop Sophie and Noria. Till says that they have to ask her face to face. He gives Martin a bucket and tells him to milk Tico. He also tells him to shower. "You smell like feet." Guel meets up with Seti, and they discuss Cynthia's unfortunate death. This was the little girl Guel tried to save on Earth. He asks Guel if he could help him get into school. Grassley has training programs that help war orphans like Seti. This is actually where Shadiq came from, so it is possible to advance from there to Astacassia. He says he wants to be like the prince. That is when Kennedy treats this little kid like a suspect and pins him. The prince that he is referring to is Shadiq before taking on that name. This is something that isn't uttered in space. So why does an Earthian kid know about this? Especially one associated to Donna Fold. Guel calls Miorine and tells her that it is Shadiq. He is the one behind the attack on the school. He doesn't have any evidence, so Miorine suggests he go back to school and find Sarius. Prospera begins making her move. Remember that Ariel has the override feature when operating at permit score 6 or higher. At the moment, there is a ceasefire between the Benerit Group and Earth Rebels. Ariel overrides one of the Earth Rebels' tanks and forces it to fire on the building where Miorine and the negotiations are happening. This makes it seem like the Rebels broke the ceasefire, which allows Prospera to just have a good time. She goes underground near a harbor to find former Ox Earth mobile suits. Back in space, Fang tells Belmeria that the ones that are funding the former Ox Earth seems to be the Space Assembly League. She seems to be an internal affairs type figure trying to figure everything out from the inside. The ceasefire between the Benerit Group and Earth ends. This also causes Miorine's negotiations to end as well. Belmeria tries to show Fang the data regarding Quiet Zero, but that is when a silent gunshot goes off. Prospera's right-hand man, Godoy, shoots Fang. She pushes Belmeria and closes the door as Godoy puts a few rounds in Fang. Damn, this is why you never tell people your plan. You instantly die. Every time. Miorine blames herself for all this. Meanwhile, the media also blames Miorine for all of this. As Guel heads back to the school to try to arrest Shadiq, the Grassley house is moving Sarius. The Grassley girls launch in the Hindry, and Shadiq launches in the McKellis. Roji and Cecilia ask Martin why Ariel is on Earth, but they have no idea either. Roji says, "I will use this Hado to kill you." Tone it down a little bit, Roji, since everyone on campus is connected. Earthhouse and Suletta have been receiving spam and hate regarding the Earth incident. As Suletta goes to classes, she starts developing a bond with Petra, the girl who likes Lauda. Guel meets up with Lauda when they detect 5 mobile suits approaching them. He goes out in his Garibaldi and engages with Shadiq. Kanaji and his Dominicus team launches in Bigir Pintes. He goes into the front and locks down the school. The kids seem used to it by now. This is only a 24-episode series and they already had like 2 9/11s. They're used to it. Once the doors unlock, Noria instantly runs out and heads to her mobile suit. Why is a terrorist mobile suit so easily accessible? Never mind. Elan 5 follows her and wonders why she would pilot, knowing that it would kill her. But after Sophie's death, she has nothing to live for. She activates Ilfrith Throne and the Gondolvas. She begins attacking the school and takes out Choo-Choo's Demi Trainer. Maybe your insurance will buy you a new Demi Trainer model. Just kidding, insurance doesn't cover Earthians. Shadiq and Guel continue fighting outside of the front. He tells them that their fathers only concern themselves with intra-fighting of houses and not seeing the bigger picture. He also knows that Guel was the one who killed his own father. Lauda overhears this communication. All the students evacuate to the hangars. Since Choo-Choo's Demi Trainer was destroyed, Cecilia allows her to pilot their Demi Barding. The MSJ-R122 Demi Barding is made by the Burin company who makes the other Demi mobile suits. It is still in the prototype phase and used mainly for testing and development. This was made without profitability in mind, so they didn't cut any corners. It is also easier to maintain than other Demi trainers. It is equipped with Fist Vulcans, a beam saber, a battery magazine-powered beam rifle, and a cannon on the shoulders. Nika shows up and helps calibrate Demi Barding. Choo-Choo can't forgive Nika until she tells her everything. She goes out and attacks the Gondolvas. Felsi comes to assist her. Shadiq blames Guel for taking Miorine away from him. Tell as old as time. Shadiq cuts through the Garibaldi while Guel destroys Michaelis' limbs. Guel jumps out of his mobile suit. They are surrounded by the Demi garrison operated by the Front Management Company. Elan 5 pilots Ilfrith and tries to get Noria to run away with him. He is probably one of the few people that understands her, but she pushes him away. At that moment, the Dominicus team shoots down Noria. During this whole controversy, we have been seeing Suletta and Petra try to escape from the chaos. The two are hit by a big explosion. Suletta gets up to find that Petra is dead. The school recoups from yet another terrorist attack. Lauda now knows that Petra is dead and Guel killed his father. For Suletta, nothing matters but trying to save as many students from the rebel as possible. And that will do it for this episode. The last 4 episodes are where these students become adults. Much of Suletta's depression has been snapped away by the sight of seeing Petra's dead body. Next time, we will conclude Mobile Suit Gundam, Witch from Mercury. The school tries to recover from the devastation, while Prospera and Edict activate Quiet Zero. Also, Lauda does some Lauda things. It's very Lauda of him. Lauda. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, Chico's Tits add a tangy yet creamy experience and would highly recommend it when making your next soup. Peace.